2024 is basically over, and I figured what better way to end the year than give you guys a video going over my exact strategy, how I find my key zones and how I trade off of them. So that is what we are going to be doing today. So guys, the indicator that I have been using for the past couple years, or maybe the past year at least, has been this indicator called dynamic support and resistance zones. I've used hundreds of indicators when it comes to finding our key levels, and this one is by far the best one that I have used. So dynamic support and resistance zones by this creator Chart Prime. Shout out Chart Prime. So we can see right here on Google that we find beautiful levels right here. We can see our supply levels over here. We can see that breakout. We can see our holds of demand zones right here. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to find these levels. So we're going to remove all of these old zones from our chart. So we have a clean chart just like this. And what we want to do is start off with our higher time frames and work our way down. Our higher time frames give us the most accurate demand zones and supply levels. So always keep that in mind. So I want to start off with our monthly time frame. Our monthly time frame would give us the highest, most accurate demand levels that we could find. So we'll add that to our chart. So right now we're looking at Google and we add our monthly time frame and we label it monthly, so we know that when we get to that level we can make it green, so we know this is a demand zone. And then we do the same exact thing with our weekly time frame. So we can see we have a weekly time frame over here and we can label it weekly like that. I'll make it green as well, so I know it is weekly. And then we can drag it up here because we have another zone there. And then we can drag it up here because we have another zone there. Now I go to my daily time frame, but keep this in mind when it comes to the daily time frame. I'll actually show you guys when we go to the daily time frame, a lot of times we see a lot of gaps in our charts. So we can see we have a gap there, we can see some gaps here, some gaps here. So the daily time frame sometimes doesn't give us great zones because of these gaps. And the way I have figured out to counter that is by not looking at the daily time frame, but instead going to a 24-hour time frame, which is the same thing, but it removes those gaps from the chart. Then we turn our indicator on and we do the same exact thing. So then we can see a level right there. We can label it daily. So we have a daily level over there. I'll just keep it gray. That's fine. So then we can take this, bring it over here. We have another daily time frame right there. And then we have another daily time frame up here. And we can bring that up there as well if we like to. Alrighty, and then we finally go to our 4-hour time frame and we do the same thing. Now the 4-hour time frame is up to you if you want to add that to your charts. I find it helpful a lot of times, so we'll add that to our chart as well. We'll label that 4-hour time frame. We can see we have another one all the way up here. We'll label that 4-hour time frame, and finally we can see there is one all the way down here, and we'll label that 4-hour time frame. And actually we have another one hiding right in between here. If the zones overlap each other, that is totally fine, and go ahead and put it in that area as well, because that tells us, hey, we have a demand zone at the 4-hour, the daily and the weekly, and they're all at the same level, and that could be a higher demand zone because of all those key levels. And then we are all done looking, we are all done labeling our charts, and this is what we have. And now our job is to read this chart before the market opens up. Before you take any trades, you want to look at this artwork that you just created and ask yourself what is going on, and then ask yourself the biggest question, which is who is in control? That is a question you need to always ask yourself when it comes to trading. Who is in control? And there are only two parties, actually, there are three parties who can be in control. The first one is buyers, and then we can also have sellers in control, and then finally we can have no one. So there can be an agreement in price by buyers and sellers, and no one is in control, which is fine. But we need to know who is in control. So we'll look at this chart right here and try to figure out who is in control. So we can see a couple things. So we have this level right here, which is an old resistance zone, an old level that sellers were able to control. So we can see we came to this level, sellers sold us off. We came to this level, sellers sold us off. And then we seen this nice break right here. So we've seen the break above this demand zone. And at this very level, buyers finally took control of Google. So buyers took control, broke us higher. This was a daily time frame, which is a strong time frame. We also have a 4-hour level at this level. So I tell myself in the back of my mind that buyers are in control. And now there is another indicator to show me that buyers are in control, which is this move right here. So we can see we broke above this level as well, which is a daily and a weekly level, a strong level, and buyers were holding this level. Then we seen this small break lower, and this was the area for sellers to take control. So if sellers were in control and if they had strength, they would be able to push us down to this daily level and they would try to break us lower. But as we can see, we had a small push lower and immediately we can see this big old green candle, which tells us that buyers are in control. They let a couple candles get lower, but they immediately took control and found that demand level right here at the weekly time frame. Now, where would I look for entries in the stock? And it would be anywhere around this area. So anywhere around 190, 191, 192 in this zone. This is where I'm looking for buys when it comes to Google. And I want us to hold this level and to push higher to that $200 level, that $202 level. But the most important thing is label your charts and then ask yourself, are buyers in control? Are sellers in control? Or is no one in control? So if you want to take one thing away from trading going into 2025, that is a question that you need to be asking yourself all of the time. Now we can look at other stocks also. So this is Microsoft, and I already labeled my chart on Microsoft, and now we can see something a little bit different when it comes to Microsoft. So when we look back, we can see we had this level right here, which is that 427 level, where sellers continue to push us lower. So sellers continue to reject this level, but we finally had that squeeze above and buyers took control. So buyers held the control of this level, which is a strong level. So we can see the breakout above this level is a daily zone. So we had this daily level break above, and that tells us, hey, buyers are in control of this thing and I should only be looking for long opportunities. We can see in the past few days we actually started losing some key levels. Let's go back really quick and we're gonna look at market structure, and we can see that we've been making higher highs. So we came to this level, we're still in the same zone, now we broke higher. We're making higher highs, buyers are still in control, we're making higher highs, and then we break above another zone. We're making higher highs, we're making higher highs, and now we failed to break above this level and we started to push down, which is totally fine. This is our next area of demand right here, but we can see buyers were not able to hold that level and sellers actually broke us lower, and this time they were able to push us to that next level, which is our daily level. They broke us below that level as well, and now we are holding that 4-hour time frame. Now the question is, am I looking for buys or am I looking for sells? Are buyers in control or are sellers in control? And the answer here is no one. Buyers were in control, but sellers are being aggressive right now. At what area would I say, hey, it looks like buyers are in control now, or hey, it looks like sellers are in control now? Well, we have this daily time frame right here. If buyers can take control of that level again, if they can break us above this level again, then I can say, hey, buyers are back in control and they want to move us higher. Now, when it comes to sellers, on the other hand, we have this level right here. So we have this level right here at 427. If we look back, it's this zone right here. And if we start losing this level, so if we start losing this 4 hour level and we start to break below, well, now I can say, hey, sellers are in control and I want to be looking for short opportunities. But until that happens, this is a stock I do not want to be trading. One thing you need to be learning is that there are days where you do not trade, there are stocks that you do not trade, and it is when there are situations where there are no opportunities, or there is not a clear idea of who is in control. I'm going to go over one more stock really quick, and this is on Tesla stock. So I had someone recently ask me, it was a few days ago, they asked me, hey, is it a good idea to start buying Tesla? And the day they asked me, I remember, was about right here. So Tesla was around it was about right here. So Tesla had this nice green day. It gapped up. How much was this? Almost 5% on the day. And they said, hey, do you think it's a good time to start buying Tesla stock? And I was like, no, it's not a great time to be buying Tesla stock. And this is the reason why. If we look at clear market structure, we can see something very obvious when it comes to Tesla. This zone right here between $400 and $415 is the strongest demand level when it comes to Tesla. We have a daily demand level, we have a weekly demand level, a 4 hour, even a 2 hour and a 1 hour demand zone, all in the same exact area, which is why we've seen Tesla break above this level, retest it, and absolutely squeeze to all-time highs because we had that insanely strong demand zone. Tesla then started to sell off and it found support right back at that area. The question is, who is in control of Tesla right now? Buyers are. As long as we stay above this area that we squeezed above, buyers are in control. But you don't want to be chasing. You don't want to be buying at $445, $435. No, you want the best entry. And when you look at the chart, you ask yourself, hey, where are the best entries? And it would be anywhere in this level between 420 and maybe even like 405. So if you can find Tesla within this zone right here, that is where I would be buying. Where would sellers be taking control of Tesla? Well, if we start to lose this level, if you start seeing a $400 Tesla, 395, well then now sellers are starting to take control, and stocks love to move to the next level of liquidity. And in this example, it would be $370. So 365, 370. Tesla sellers would try to push us all the way down there. Don't be looking to be chasing stocks, but look for opportunities when you are at the best areas of demand. And that is what I am going to be leaving with you guys for 2024 and for this video. If you guys want to be part of our private community, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. In that community, I post my watch list and my alerts on the stocks that I am trading every single day. So make sure to check that out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.